What if I do not? Just maybe it is, maybe it is not. Did I? What are you saying? Nye? Apparently it is not, considering the clock in Stanley's office. Yeah, you did. Maybe. Actually, we are not. Well, distant land of YouTube, Northrow Trailsmith at your service, continuing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Skip. So,
all of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
That is because they never existed. Also, I will do this.
Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click
Yeah.
a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort.
You did
5
last
clicks.
time.
Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition. I have to say, I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing
come
effort for
on.
a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
Fine.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true
Shut
reward for
up.
valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
Ugh. 417.
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
This is stupid.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
This is very stupid.
Now, back to door number 437.
Are you going to give me the achievement or what?
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine? All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Stanley's legs are feeling tired. Wait. Oops.
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk.
Ah. Up. Up. Why can I not get up?
Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416. We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
I think someone has spiked his ale.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430! Yes! We did it!
Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago, you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
By my beard, what are you thinking? Also, I am thinking I will try the window now. Out.
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think?
It looks
Isn't
like
this
a
fun
face.
and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit.
How about I do not?
Many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain.
I did it out of spite.
All of his co-workers were gone.
What if I click again?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Ah, I recognize this.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Not.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, let us go with that.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Yeah, that is not the time that I put in.
Really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
This painting looks familiar. Somehow.
At this point, Stanley's
Or
obsession
it
with
was
this room
this.
bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left. But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Nah.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Do not lie. If you are lying right now, stop. This sentence is false. Or will it?
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
Of course.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he
I
couldn't
thought
find a
the
trace of
phone
his
did
co-workers.
something.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and
Nah.
Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room. Thank
I
goodness
have
Stanley
seen
had taken
better.
this detour on his way to the meeting room. Life without having experienced this room was now too horrible even to consider. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and
Maybe
got back on
next
track.
time.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
There is something here.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
I think not.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left
How
his
did
post during
this
work
get
hours.
here?
He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of
It
my
is
co-workers
looping.
blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations.
Did
For
he
example,
now?
why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No,
Yeah.
Stanley said to himself,
Oh,
this is all too
spill.
strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream.
Yeah, it
What a
is.
relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all.
Or is
Thought to
he?
himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun,
There
and Stanley
it is.
marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner.
And what is
Why
that?
is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm
Yeah,
dreaming about a
it
voice
is.
describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was
It
that, of
does.
course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself? Believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
Or is he?
Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely,
this
if he could
is running on a little
he would prove
long.
He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job.
If only it worked
Let me
that
continue
way.
pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal.
No,
Everything
you
will be
are
fine.
not.
I am okay.
You are not.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Oop.
This is the story
And
of a
Stanley
woman named
was
Mariella.
dead.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew.
Everyone
knows
is
what crazy
crazy.
people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane.
Nobody
I
is
am
normal.
in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for
It
this.
is at
So
the
it was
same
only a
company
moment
as
that
Stanley.
She stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
And Stanley was dead.